Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need. BrothersTrucks.com, your #1 source for 1947 to 87 Chevy and GMC truck restoration. Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. Oil Undercoating, the official oil-based rust prevention system. And by AMSOIL, the first in synthetics.
This is Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. In the off-road world, two things you don't want to compromise on: comfort and safety. Now, you've been off-roading for a long time, Taylor. What are some of the measures folks take to get around the safety aspect?
Not wearing helmets and seatbelts are the #1 issue right now, so we tried to bring some comfort features to traditional safety products to not give people an excuse to skip on those items anymore.
First of all, I want to add that Amped Off-Road, your company, is not an upstart. You've been at this for a long, long time in your family.
Yeah, my father started G-Force Racing Gear when I was a kid, so grew up with that my entire life. So took all that knowledge that we gained in that business and then specifically brought it to an affordable price point in the off-road market.
And if you don't know the name G-Force, that is a big name in motorsports and has been for a long time. So you've taken the G-Force lineage and evolved it into what we see here.
Exactly.
And how does this compare to the other, like the DOT standard safety helmets, versus racing helmets that are out there?
So these are based specifically more on a fiberglass mold, which you're going to find on entry-level Snell helmets, compared to ABS injected mold items, which are competition used for their DOT, which you find in motocross helmets, downhill bike helmets, that kind of plastic. So we went with a heavier duty material that Snell uses and thought we would make it DOT rated for everyone to enjoy.
And some of the cool features I like here, this is your half helmet.
Yes.
And the strap is more forward. You don't have the Y
exactly.
that most helmets would have.
So that works with the behind the head headsets specifically. So people that really don't want to wear a helmet but need to wear one and still utilize communications, which are big in UTVs now, and still have a helmet that's DOT certified. So that's a pretty niche item. We're kind of the only ones doing that one at the moment. And then this is our full face forced air helmet. Comes with a offset air import, helmet skirt to keep the dust out, positive pressure. Going in, you can wire it up, talk to your friends, and a lot of people were complaining about the airport placement on helmets. So traditionally, this piece would be run along the front, which can blow into your mic, dries your mouth out. The industry kind of moved to the top placement, but then people are putting aftermarket roll cages on, running into clearance issues, so we put it on the side. And before our helmet came out, it was $700 or $800 Snell approved, maybe even a carbon fiber helmet. So we want to bring an affordable DOT Snell-based helmet to the market where people could still have their families protected while having safety and comfort at the same time.
So you put a lot of thought into these, and you put a lot of thought into the safety harnesses you have.
Correct. These are our brand new Lightning Series harnesses, and the webbing you typically find has been upgraded. So this is a much smoother, lighter weight material, much more malleable, so it's more comfortable. And then we've also made the pads removable as well, so you can put them in your washing machine. You can adjust them with height. If you're a taller person, you scoot the seat forward, the harnesses are fixed. So maybe you're shorter, your son drives it, he goes all the way forward, then the very bottom of the harness is all the way at his shoulder, so you could unvelcro the pads, put it back on where it's appropriately mounted for a safe and comfortable experience.
I know one of your most popular items, you couldn't bring it here because you can't keep them in stock.
Exactly, so we offer a suspension seat that brings your comfort to the next level within your UTV. So it has a spring set up in the bottom with webbing that bounces up and down when you can hit those big whoops in the desert, hit a big rock. So if you really want to elevate your experience on top of the harnesses, helmets, you can go with our suspension seat.
It's next level safety equipment at a price you're gonna love. Find them at ampedoffroad.com. Air ride suspension, it's been around for decades and it's fantastic until it breaks. And Andrew, it can cost a fortune to replace a strut like that. But how can you help me at Rebuild Master Tech?
Rebuild Master Tech, we rebuild everything. Take the original core off the car, only OEM cores, no aftermarket, anything like that. Tear it all down to its core, put new airbags, new seals, new rubber, new everything on it, give it back to you at a fraction of the cost.
You mentioned the airbag. What are some other components that can go bad on a strut like this?
The O-ring, typically, and any fittings. Most struts get the new fittings on top here, new can as well, new dust boots.
We're looking at a Bentley and a Mercedes strut. What are we talking about, $1,000 if one of these goes bad?
Give or take, yeah, 1,000.
What are some of the other stuff you offer besides the entire strut? What if I just know I need a line or something like that?
Well, yeah, that's why we got these lines here. We sell the whole line complete as an assembly, so you hook it up, splice it into your original air ride system, or if you just need just a fitting or just a splicer, you can get that, or just the airline itself.
Now, here's something you brought in, and there's a reason we have the Jeep behind us. This is the elbow connector, something that goes bad a lot on these Jeeps. Why does that wear so quickly?
You're adding another point of entry. There's O-rings inside here, go bad very typically, and also the fitting itself. But it doesn't go bad as much, but really Jeep added another connection here just for it to go bad after some time.
This is the elbow unit from you at Rebuild Master Tech, and this is one from overseas?
Correct, yeah.
And what's the difference between the two, the way they send theirs versus the way you send yours?
We pre-install the fitting on here, and you don't have to mess with it or anything like that. As opposed to our overseas friends, they like to do two separate units for whatever reason, and a lot of guys, they don't know, they put it here, they put it there, they don't know to take this plastic clip off, they've got no idea. We pre-install everything, and ours is an original Voss fitting, as opposed to this one, it's not original.
So you keep it simple and not do any damage. Right. Now the solenoid here, I was amazed, you showed this to me beforehand. Now, what does the solenoid do here, say on this Mercedes strut?
If you want to dampen the suspension, so if you want a softer ride or stiffer ride, sport, comfort, that's what they usually call it, you have a button in the dashboard to control that. And with our struts, we keep that all original. We don't add anything or take away anything. We only rebuild OEM cores, as opposed to our other overseas friends. They like to mimic it, and I could take this off. It doesn't do anything. There is no connection going into the shock absorber at all.
Just a bypass.
Correct, yeah. Essentially,
Incredible.
it's just resistors on top and bottom.
You showed me this earlier. What should be back here? And this is just a cap.
How do you control a strut like that?
Yeah, it doesn't go anywhere.
It doesn't go anywhere.
Amazing. You can restore your ride thanks to Rebuild Master Tech, and you can do it at a fraction of the cost of the OEMs. Find them at rebuildmastertech.com. And you can find more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings right after this.